The OR operator in Visual Basic works just like the OR operator in any other language. Now, to use it in Visual Basic, we would place the word OR between our two conditions. So if at least one of the conditions is true, then the whole thing is considered true. Now, if all the conditions, in this case both conditions, are false, then the whole condition is false. So let's take a look at the truth table for the OR operator. And we see it's pretty straightforward. If I have conditions A and B, we can see what's going on with A or B. So if A and B are both true, A or B is going to be obviously true. If A is true and B is false, A or B is still going to be true because one of them is true. If A is false and B is true, A or B is still true because B is true. And then if both A and B are false, then A or B is also going to be false. So let's look at an example. If we have 14 greater than or equal to 5 or 7 greater than 10, well, 14 greater than or equal to 5 is true. 7 greater than 10 is false. So true or false turns out to be true. The or else operator is another one that you may not have seen in other programming languages. But what we're going to find is it works similar to the and also operator, except we're dealing with ors instead of ands. So the or else operator works just like the or operator. If you have two conditions, if at least one of them is true, the whole thing is true. If both are false, the whole thing is false. The difference is just how we evaluate them. So the or operator in Visual Basic will evaluate both conditions no matter what. The or else operator will evaluate the right portion, the right condition, if and only if the left condition is false. Okay? So think about this. If the first condition is true, is there any point in evaluating the other condition? No, there's no point in doing that. So that's what the or else operator does. If the left side is true, we don't need to evaluate the right side. Now, if it's false, then we have to check the right side to see if it is true or false. Then we can determine if the whole thing is true or false. So let's do an example here. So let's say I have 14 greater than 5 or else 7 less than 10. Well, we can see this is going to be true because we see that the 7 less than 10 part is true. Now, what we have to do is look at how we evaluate it. So we evaluate the left side, and we see that 14 is greater than 5. That's also true. So since that's true, we don't need to check the 7 less than 10 is true. We could, but it's not necessary. Since 14 greater than 5 is true, it's automatically true. So we just don't even bother with evaluating the right side. The XOR operator simply stands for exclusive OR. I think I said that a couple slides back. So the way we would use this in our conditions is we would place XOR or XOR between the two conditions. The way this works is very similar to the OR operator. But here's the difference. With the OR operator, both conditions could be true for the whole thing to be true. With XOR or exclusive OR, exactly one of the conditions has to be true. So if exactly one is true, then the whole condition is true. However, if both conditions are true or both conditions are false, then the whole thing is false. So exclusive OR is saying that one can be true or the other, but not both. Let's take a look at the truth table to help visualize this. So we have A and B again. So if A and B are both true, A XOR B is false. We can't have both A and B be true. Only one of them can be true for A XOR B to be true. So let's take a look at the next one. So A is true, B is false. So A XOR B is true. If A is false and B is true, then A exclusive OR B is true. And then finally, if A and B are both false, then clearly A exclusive B is also going to be false. So now let's look at an example just to help out with this. Let's say I have 14 greater than or equal to 5, and then do an exclusive OR with 7 less than 10. We see that both of these are true. 14 is greater than or equal to 5, and 7 is less than 10. Therefore, true exclusive OR true is false. So the whole thing here is false. Now, since we have these different logical operators, there is a precedence of these operators. What I mean by that is, let's say I have several of these operators in a single expression, which one gets evaluated first? Is it just whichever one's on the left, whichever one's on the right? But there is a priority system set up as far as which ones get evaluated before others. So the one with the highest priority is the not operator. So whenever you see a condition with multiple logical operators and there's a not, that not part gets evaluated first. We then follow that with the and also. These both have the same precedence level. So these would be evaluated next. This would be followed by the or and or else. So if we have and or together, the and part gets evaluated first, then the or part. And then finally, exclusive or would be at the bottom of the precedence. So once all the other logical operators are taken care of, we would handle the exclusive or operators then.